Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yuddhama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Lankhayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandamadhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. A very warm welcome to our session of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Coincidentally, Kartik month has started for this year 2022, and so therefore we are doing a Kartik special Srimad Bhagavata session, because the month of Kartik is very, very auspicious for all the devotees, and also it is what you call hugely beneficial to the devotees to offer any type of devotional service to Krishna in this month. For example, in Puranas, there are several quotations about the greatness of this month of Kartik. And if someone performs even a little worship of Lord Sri Hari during the month of Kartik, the Lord offers that devotee his own abode. So that's one of the Mahatmyas of Kartik. If somebody burns a lamp in the temple of Sri Hari, even for a short time in the month of Kartik, then whatever sins he has acquired for millions of kalpas are all destroyed. So kalpa means 1000 yuga. So you can imagine what benefit we are getting by offering a lamp during the month of Kartik. Even though all of us know this, it is always very nice to repeat it so that we know the importance and the significance of what we are doing. A person who during the entire month of Kartik takes food only once a day becomes very famous, powerful, and heroic. So if you are eating only once a day, then you will become all these things. A person who happily reads the Bhagavad Gita in the month of Kartik does not return to the world of birth and death. Of all gifts, the gift of a lamp during the month of Kartik is the best. No gift is equal. The pious result obtained by bathing in all holy places and giving all charities is not equal to 1/10,000,000th part of the result obtained by following the Kartik Vrata. So these are some of the Mahatmyas given of the month of Kartik. Lot of information is there in both Padma Purana and Skanda Purana about the glories of the month of Kartik. And basically, devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement, they are instructed by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada to chant the Damodara Ashtakam prayers and offer a ghee lamp to Lord Damodara. This is our observance of the Kartik month, and all the other things that are being told can be followed according to one's convenience. But at least every day we offer a ghee lamp to Lord Damodara, and then that is this month. And in this month, it is also said that one should give some time for Bhagavata Shravanam. Give some time for Bhagavata Shravanam. So I thought I will read just one or two verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam in connection with this month of Kartik, and also this is a shloka that I'm going to read is from Kunti's Stuti of the Lord in the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, and shloka 31 is what I am reading now. Gopya dade tvai krida gasidamatavat yate dashashrukalilāņjana sambhramakṣam vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhir api yad bibheti. This is Kunti Devi speaking to Krishna as he is leaving for Dwaraka, as he is about to get on the chariot. Kunti Devi stops him and speaks to him at that time. This is one of the verses that Kunti Devi is speaking. It translates thus: My dear Krishna, Yashoda took a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you're afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. This sight is very bewildering to me. So, very similar shloka is there in what you call the Damodara Ashtaka. Also, a very similar shloka is there, that the second shloka, especially of the Damodara Ashtakam, is also very similar. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam mrijantam karamboja yugmena satanka netram muhushwasa kampa trirekhanga kantha stitagraivam damodaram bhakti bhattam, which translates as seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. So, 2 slokas I just wanted to read, and then we could speak something about it. That is, Kunti says, Gopyadade tvai kridagasi damatavat yete dashashru kalilāņjana sambhramakṣam vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhir api yad bibheti. So, Kunti is saying that Gopyadade, she is referring to Yashoda here. And she says that because you were doing some mischief, so she took the dama and coming to tie you. So at that time, what were you doing? Ashru kalilāņjana sambhramakṣam. She's saying that this is very bewildering to me, my dear Krishna. Why is this very bewildering to me? Because vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya. She says that fear personified is afraid of you. So, you being afraid for me is very bewildering. So, yesterday in Balram Desh, we were discussing how this Damodara Leela, although playing out all 30 days of this Kartik month, where practically we read Damodara Ashtakam. Damodara Ashtakam basically contains this entire Damodara Leela. And why is this Leela glorified so much? That was our subject matter of discussion. Although Krishna has so many Leelas, and during this month also we find that there are very wonderful Leelas played out by Krishna, starting from the Sharad Purnima onwards. This month is full of, you will find also the Go Puja, Govardhana Puja, Bali Daityaraja Puja. All these pujas you will find are coming in this month of Kartik. So Kartik month is very, very dear to the Lord, and the Lord is, this is the favorite month of the Lord, and the Lord gives a lot of benedictions. Beyond that, in this month, one can actually try and get some transcendental enjoyment meditating on this extra wonderful Leela of the Lord. In Sanskrit, it can be said Vichitra. Chitra means wonderful. Vichitra means, something incomprehensible, we can say. Why is this incomprehensible, you may ask? Because here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, coming as a baby. And the Lord coming as a baby itself is bewildering in the first place. Because the Lord acts very helpless, takes the help of his mother for everything. And every time the Lord gets into, these are all things that we will find very elaborately in Sri Krishna Leela only. Okay. Because if you read Ramayana, you won't read any similar Leela of Lord Ramachandra with Kausalya. You will not. Okay. Not that Lord Rama would not have played any Bali Leela, but then that Bali Leela is, for whatever reason, is not discussed. Valmiki is discussing only after the after the time when Lord Ramachandra is returning from the Gurukula. That is where the discussion starts, after Ramachandra's birth. So this wonderful, beautiful rasa, rasa means transcendental bliss. So this ras or rasa leelas that are filled with rasa. Rasa means transcendental mellow, transcendental happiness. It is there in Lord Sri Krishna's Leela only. And now, this Leela is very, very sweet. Which Leela? This Damodara Leela is very, very sweet, where you can actually see the Lord playing this various roles superbly. What we are reading is in first canto, Kunti Devi speaking about this particular Leela of the Lord. Very similar shloka is there actually in the 10th canto also. In the 10th canto, 9th chapter, where this Damodara Leela is coming. Tamata yashtim prashamikshya satvaras tato varuhya pashasara bhitavat gopyandhavanan yamapayoginam kshamam praveshtum tapaseritam mana. Translation reads, when Lord Sri Krishna saw his mother, stick in hand, he very quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to flee as if very much afraid. Although the yogis tried to capture him as Paramatma by meditation, desiring to enter into the effulgence of the Lord with great austerities and penances, they failed to reach him. But Mother Yashoda, thinking that same personality of God as Krishna to be her son, began following Krishna to catch him. And we understand very clearly as to who was successful in catching Krishna. Whether the yogis trying for hundreds and thousands of years, or whether it was this devotee, this Mahatma called Yashoda Maya. She was the one who was able to catch Krishna. So when we get into the details of this Leela, we will see the various aspects of sweetness of Krishna playing the Leela, because playing a Leela means that you have to be a good actor. And Kunti Devi already says in the beginning of her prayer that Nato Natya Tharo Yata. That means she says that you are such a good actor that people can't make out that you are acting. What is the measure of a good actor? The measure of a good actor is that people can't make out that he is acting, right? So they call it natural acting or whatever, so many things. But here is the best actor in the entire universe, Lord Sri Krishna. Now, let us see how he is playing this Leela. Because this Leela, all of us know this Leela. Because during, as I said, during Kartik month, every day we play this Leela by singing the Damodara Ashtakam. So another thing that we all should try and do is that understand the meaning of Damodara Ashtakam and then chant it. Then you can actually live through that Leela when we are reading the Damodara Ashtakam. You know, every day, simply by reading the Damodara Ashtakam, we can live that Damodara Ashtakam Leela. We can actually see Krishna being tied to the mortar. We can actually see Krishna running. We can actually see Krishna breaking the pot and all those things, you know. So that way, if we become involved enough, we can actually transport ourselves, at least the consciousness, to Vrindavan, where the Ulukha Bandhana Leela took place. So we know that Yashoda Maya had to put Krishna down and rush to the kitchen to, you know, take the milk from the pot, from the fire. If not, it will overflow. And that milk also was meant to be for Krishna only, because that milk belonged to the best cows of Nandagopa, and that milk was, and the milk and the products out of those milk were exclusively meant for Krishna. So Yashoda running away is not to escape from feeding Krishna breast milk, but to actually save the milk that is used for feeding butter and other things to Krishna only. So this is the background of the story. And then Krishna acts as if he's angry. Otherwise, do you actually, we would be very foolish to think that Krishna gets angry with Mother Yashoda. Can the Lord actually become angry with Mother Yashoda? Huh? He cannot, because she knows only to shower him with love. She knows only to shower him with love. And until this point also, she has been very vehemently defending him. That also we know. Because he has already got very bad name among all the other gopis, because every day he is going to a different house and breaking pots and eating butter out of it. And whenever they would come and tell Yashoda, she would say that, you know, this cow, and this cow, they are the best cows, and their milk only, butter is there in my house. So why he would come to your house to take butter? This way, Yashoda Maya has been defending Krishna very vehemently. And today, what Krishna does, he is crawling to the next room, taking a stone. No, he's standing on top of the mortar, and then he's breaking the pot, and then all the butter is falling down. The dahi is falling down, and then he's carrying, he's eating some himself, he's feeding to his next best friend, the monkeys, you know. He has done all this mischief. By the time she has gone to the kitchen to take the milk from the stove and keep it down, and she comes back, she sees this scene. And then the Bhagavatam also describes, Satyavrata Muni also describes that this makes Yashoda angry. You know. So Yashoda Maya's anger is not simply because of breaking this one pot. No, it is like a flashback running through her. All the gopis complaints about all the pots broken by Krishna. You understand? Because why do you think Yashoda will become angry with Krishna for just breaking one pot? No, not like that. She's thinking all this time this boy was breaking pots in all these gopis' houses, and he took me for a ride. And today in our own house he has broken pots, so now you are caught red-handed. Until now she used to tell the gopis, bring me proof, bring me photo, bring me video and all that. Poor gopis, they couldn't bring any proof because he is the Supreme Lord. When he wants to steal, he will simply steal. You can't find proof. But today, you see, just to make the Leela the sweetest, Lord Krishna is getting caught by breaking the pot. I mean, he is breaking the pot in the house and he is only child inside the house at that time. So it's like as if he's, sort of giving himself away, let me be caught. That is the attitude of Krishna while breaking these pots. But he appears to be one thing, he appears to be very angry and annoyed. So he's eating some butter by himself and going and throwing all the butter and think the monkeys outside, then coming running inside, and then immediately he's seeing Yashoda Maya. Right? Now comes to the Kunti Devi's incomprehensible part, and for everybody, every one of us, the incomprehensible part of Krishna seeing Yashoda coming and becoming afraid. Satyavrata Muni is writing that, his eyes are red and tears are flowing out of his eyes. The cheeks have become red. Again, very incomprehensible, because this boy is so dark. How his cheeks became red, he only knows. On one hand is Shyama Sundara, no? If you are a white chubby baby's cheeks will become red. Huh? So this is the alaukic beauty of Krishna. This is the transcendental beauty of Krishna that only devotees can understand. Our thought will first be, they said he is Kalia, black fellow, Shyama Sundara. So how his cheek will become red? So like this, incomprehensible to us. But Satyavrata Muni is explaining, Bhagavatam also explaining that he is crying. Now you see, and Kunti Devi is saying it is very bewildering for me because you are the person, Bhaya personified is afraid of you. Fear personified is afraid of you. So you becoming afraid of this gopi is something very bewildering to me. This is very bewildering to everybody who sees Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. For us, it is very bewildering because we see Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who does not become afraid of anybody. Correct? Now, that is why I said this Leela is actually the sweetest, because Krishna, the son of Yashoda, Yashoda Nandan Krishna, became afraid of Yashoda. Yashoda Nandan Krishna, the Vrindavan Krishna, who is the son of Nandanandana and Yashoda Nandana, he became afraid of Yashoda that day, at that moment. Actually, when he was crying and when his tears were flowing from his eyes, actually, he was afraid. It becomes even more bewildering. Because in order to make the Leela perfect, Lord, being the arranger of this Leela, has to make it perfect in every sense. So when the mother gets angry with a small child, however much the mother is loving the child, it is very normal for the child to get afraid. Right? All children, the mothers love the children, children love the mother, but when his mischief goes out of control, when the mother gets angry, the child becomes afraid. Correct? So if Krishna had exhibited his Aishwarya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and stared back at Yashoda, This Leela will have no sweetness whatsoever. Correct? Now imagine if Krishna had shown his Vishwarupa to Yashoda. I am coming with a stick, I am coming to beat you. No, I am the supreme person. Look at me. Even no need Vishwarupa, even four-armed form if Krishna had shown. I am Narayana, like this. What Yashoda's condition will be. Leela is finished there. No more enjoyment for the devotee. And Krishna's whole and sole purpose of coming himself to Vrindavan, Bhauma Vrindavan, is to make the devotees happy. So he has to do that which makes the devotee happy. Right? Because he is Bhakta Paradhina, no? So devotees' happiness gives pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, actually became scared, and his tears were also real. Because he was perfectly acting as Yashodanandana. They say, the very experienced stage actors and all, they will cry without glycerin because they get into the soul of the character, and then when the character cries, he cries. Right? These are all originally shown by Krishna only. So Krishna is now completely got into that Yashodanandana. He is now Yashodanandana Krishna. So when Yashoda is angry and coming with a stick to beat, Yashodanandana Krishna actually gets afraid that Amma is going to beat me, Maya is going to beat me. And he cries and he's doing this, Also doing this so that, children, they do, there is two things when a child does this. One is that he's afraid. Second is that by showing this drama, he wants to lessen the punishment given by Maya. So both acting is done by Yashodanandana Krishna, not the Param Purushottam, Supreme Personality of Godhead, source of everything Krishna. No, not that Krishna. That Krishna has no role here. This is Yashodanandana Krishna. So he is afraid, so he is crying, and then he starts running, because now Bhagavan Krishna decides that now she is my devotee. Let me have some fun with her. Let her also have some fun with me. So he starts running. And she also starts running after him. Bhagavatam says she ran and then was perspiring, and her sari became, fell off her head, like this gungat, it fell off because she was running and trying to catch him, and she becomes tired. Now he is exhibiting Aishwarya. Otherwise, Yashoda is a grown adult. This is small baby. How he can outrun? Think about it. All mothers who are listening, please think. How many steps you need to outrun your 1-year-old child? Not much. So here you see part of how Leela changes, you see. So that she will feel tired, and then immediately Bhagavan Krishna thinks, my poor devotee. As running, he is Yashodanandana Krishna having fun with mother. Out of fear, I am running, mother is chasing. So that is giving transcendental pleasure to Yashoda, the mother. And then again he switches, he becomes Bhagavan and thinks, oh, my poor devotee, she will get tired if she runs too much. Right? So immediately he let her catch him. And by this he also gives that transcendental lesson that only by bhakti you can catch me. In that purport to that shloka, Srila Prabhupada writes about how the yogi will never be able to catch Krishna, and how the bhakta will be able to catch Krishna. Because that is, we should know that Leela means there is messaging. Various type of messaging is there. So that is what we are getting into. So this message is that, you want to catch me, become a devotee like Yashoda. I will make you run a little bit, but then I'll let you catch me. What we learn from Yashoda. And now she has caught him. Now his fear knows no bounds. He's looking very scared at Amma, Maya, please don't beat me like this, because she has got stick in the hand. So then she gives up the idea of beating, because Yashoda is not like Rakshasi mothers, who want to beat their children. She is the softest, gentlest soul in the entire creation. So she took that stick only just to make him afraid. Right. Now all mothers would think that, if only my son were like Krishna, I don't need to beat. But if son is like Ravana, what to do? This is what modern mothers would think like this. Yashoda, the gentlest, sweetest, most loving mother in the entire universe. Because that's why she got chosen as Krishna's mother. So very easily we can say that she was the gentlest, softest, most loving mother in the entire universe, without a doubt, because that's why Krishna chose her as mother. And so she gave up the idea of beating him. She says, but to punish you, but to teach you a lesson, I will tie you so that you won't run around and you won't do any mischief. So then she is getting some rope to tie Krishna. Now you see this rope tying goes on for some time, where again Krishna the Bhagavan is playing. No more the child. Child means he will get tied immediately, right? So how many times Krishna is switching, you see in this one Leela. Scene after scene, he is switching between Supreme Personality of God and Yashodanandan. Everything is him only, but that mood changes, no? So for some time he decides, okay, let her try. And then he feels, okay, Yashoda Maya, she's my Maya and she's my greatest devotee, so let her tie me. So that two-finger shot philosophy comes into play, that every time she was trying to tie, it was 2 fingers short. So one finger is the determination, eagerness of the devotee, and the other finger is the mercy of the Lord. So Acharyas say that devotee should have determination to attain Krishna, and devotee also should strongly pray to Krishna for his mercy. So that will make the 2 fingers together. So Krishna would be very happy with the determination of the devotee. Plus, when the devotee is praying for his mercy, he would be only too happy to give his mercy. So that is how Krishna becomes tied. So again, messaging. Correct. So again, there is a messaging in this Leela that if you want to tie me, become like Yashoda. If you want to catch me, become like Yashoda. So messaging given to general public that this is what you should do. So now you see how the Leela becomes sweet. How the Leela is the most bewildering for everybody. How can he be afraid? How can he cry out of fear? All these things are possible. Yes, Baba, it is possible because it is Krishna. And the party on the other side is his mother Yashoda. So he's tied down by the parental love, which is Yashoda's parental love is the topmost Vatsalya Bhava that we can see. That is why Vilomangal Thakur sings that, in this Balam Mukundam bhajan, he thinks that Stanyam Pibandam Sahasiru Haksham. He will tell that Yashoda, you are the luckiest and the most worshipable person in the entire universe, because as he was drinking milk from your breast, he was looking eagerly at your face as the baby he is. And how many souls Krishna would have looked with so much eagerness? Everybody gets his kataksha. That means his merciful sideways glance or sometimes direct glance, or all that mercy personified glance other devotees are getting. But here, baby, all mothers will relate to this. Baby drinking milk, looking at mother's face is probably the best feeling that a mother gets, because the baby is so happy, and that drives the mother's happiness 10,000 times. And here it is a Supreme Personality of Godhead looking at her, while drinking milk. So who is Yashoda? Just think about the greatness of this devotee named Yashoda. That is why while we worship Damodara, we also worship Yashodama along with him. We glorify Damodara as Yashodanandan Damodar. Why? Because he became Damodar because he is Yashodanandan. Right? He became Dama Udara, bound around his Udara because of Yashoda. Because he had to show that he is Yashodanandan, that he is the dearmost Lalla of Yashoda. So when she wants to tie him, he allows himself to be tied. Never before, never after has anybody tied Krishna. Then only one time. So now you see how unique Damodar Leela is. And then again, she ties him to the mortar, the Ulukala, and then she goes. Then again, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is back in action. Because he says, Yamalarjuna trees are standing there, so somebody has to do dhar for them. So then he will, drag it outside the house, take it to the two trees standing on the courtyard of Nanda, and then he'll go in between them and give both of them, back to their original bodies. So there again, he becomes the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has to, because Narada Muni has given a curse and a solution that Supreme Lord will come here to this spot and he will liberate you. So there he becomes the Supreme Lord who is making his pure devotee's word right. Narada Muni has given that, no, Lord Krishna will come in Dwapara Yuga and he'll be here, he'll spend time here. At that time, he will liberate both of you. So that business also, the devotee's word he has to keep, so that business he takes care. That's more or less like the Supreme Lord business that he does. So although the Leela goes from, mother keeping him down till Manigriva and Nalakuvera are liberated, so it's quite a long Leela, like 2 parts it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. The important part is of this entire Leela is Yashoda, Krishna getting angry, then then Krishna breaking pot, then Yashoda getting angry, then Krishna getting afraid, then Yashoda chasing Krishna, then Krishna getting caught, Yashoda tying Krishna. It looks like a very simple thing that would happen in any house. But when it happens between the Supreme Lord and his greatest, purest devotee, then it will be discussed month after month after month. Because it also brings out all that sweetness of the Lord in dealing with his devotees and how Lord takes special care to increase the pleasure of his devotees. So this entire Leela is played out for the pleasure of Mother Yashoda. Except for the liberation of Yamalarjuna trees, the rest of the Leela is played out simply for Yashoda Maya's pleasure. Because that would deepen her love for Krishna, Normally when mothers, they punish their children, after punishment, they will take them and they will cajole them even more. This is a very normal thing. Have you noticed all mischievous children, they will get punished. After that, then the mother will take them and give him more things to spoil him further. This is what happens with every mother and child. Correct? One punishment and then after that 2-3 sweets additional. Because she feels bad after punishing. So in this Leela also definitely, although we are not getting in, or Sukadeva Goswami is not explaining it further on that part, it is very clearly understood. He would have had more butter and more dahi and more shrikhand and whatnot. Whatever he was getting, he would have gotten all double that day after this thing was over. Why? Because she would feel very bad. Oh, my dear child, Because Yashoda's love for Krishna, it cannot be expressed in words. It is highly, well near impossible to express the intensity of Vatsalya Bhava that she had. And that is brought out by this particular Damodara Leela. So that is why it is very wonderful that we remember this Leela. And when Satyavrata Muni says that his face is redder because of Yashoda's kisses, because Yashoda Maya would kiss him all over his face. And so that would make his entire face red. So this is Satyavrata Muni's idea of how Krishna's face, the Shyama Sundara boy, how he became reddish. Because Yashoda Maiya's kumkum and other things, all colors would be on his face, because she would be giving him so many kisses as the loving mother, how a mother kisses the child. And he is accepting all these things, and he's smiling, and he's expressing his happiness, and he's like the spoiled baby. He's allowing Yashoda to do all those things. Just imagine. That is why what do you call, Vilomangal Thakur is praying like that, Alokyamadur Mukhamadarena Stanyam Pibandam Sahasiru Haksham Sachinmayam Devam Ananta Rupam Balam Mukundam Manasasmarami. He says that you are eternal, you are full of knowledge, you are the eternal form, and that you, Alokyamatur Mukhamadarena, you are watching your mother's face, with fully open eyes, while Stanyam Pibantam, while you are doing Stanyapana, Stanyamrtapana of Yashoda, you are looking at her with all that love that the baby has for the mother. So that is why Krishna's Leela can be very bewildering. Can he actually do that? Would the Supreme Lord, who is a protector of everyone, when you say he's protector of everyone, he's also protector of Yashoda, no? Aham Sarvayonishu Kaunteya, Aham Bija Prathapita. That way he is also Bija Prathapita of Yashoda also, no? Right? And this everything is playing out, this whole thing that we are seeing being played out in the Bhauma Vrindavana is actually out of a within the stem of a lotus that is sprouted out of one Garbhodaya Vishnu, who is actually an expansion of the Supreme. Right? And there he is sitting as a small baby in her hands and doing all these things. That is why it is very bewildering. At the same time, it is transcendently so much full of enjoyment for the devotee to continuously read and read and read again, whether it is Kunti Stuti or whether it is the 9th chapter or the 10th canto or whichever other part of the Srimad Bhagavatam that we read, we can actually see how the Supreme Lord's mercy is giving transcendental pleasure to his devotees. This is all ultimately, these are all Krishna showing his mercy on the devotee, Whether it is manifesting as Krishna's tears in his eyes or fear in his face, or running and making her chase or breaking the pot, everything is actually Krishna's manifestation of his mercy being manifested for the pleasure of the devotee. Because when she becomes angry, Krishna becomes happy. Sometimes children taunt their mothers also, no? I will irritate you. So he was doing that to irritate her, the mother. So mother will get angry. And then when she actually got angry, he got scared. For every child, this happens. First he will, needle the mother, and see the moment she becomes angry, then immediately he start, he is afraid and he starts running. It happens everywhere. So he wants to do all these things, and he wants to also, Krishna also is transcendently enjoying this. On one hand, as Supreme Lord, by his mercy, these things are happening. By his Leela potency, this is happening. At the same time, being in this Leela, he is also enjoying himself thoroughly as a child. Because actually, this lying down in the causal ocean and creating all these things is a very boring thing. There is no interaction. Simply, universes are coming out of the pores of your body. It is not much enjoyment. How long can he simply be lying down like that and and universe is sprouting out? So he needs an entertainment, right? So he comes like this and he enjoys like this, and in that process, that is why it is said that the devotee always looks for the pleasure of Krishna, because automatically when Krishna is pleased, when he is enjoying, all the devotees also will feel the transcendental enjoyment as part and parcel of Krishna and as part and parcel of his Leelas. Like Yashodamaya actually took part in that Leela and she got transcendental enjoyment. All pure devotees who can actually enter into this Leela simply by their consciousness also gets that same transcendental enjoyment. And fools like us, we can see that pure devotees are getting transcendental enjoyment, from these type of Leelas. So I'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam.